Everything is. He needs one of them coats. Hello.
How are you doing?
All right. Double better for us. Love a bit of rivalry. David? Do you want to... All right.
I've got a new knee so I can't climb up.
Oh, there you go. So we're streaming live now when
Okay.
the game starts, but you know, so
Yeah.
the trick is just to undo.
Yeah.
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 Keep it up.
Okay.
I'll introduce you. Tick. I'll just do a photograph. So there we go. Okay. So I'll put that on my Twitter.
All right.
You do
Yeah.
Twitter as well?
No. I'm just lucky my computer works. And the daughter comes round now and again and fixes it.
So I have to do a few
Links in.
kind of tests and things because
Yeah.
I can misbehave. So quite often after 45 minutes, I've got to
Rejig it.
reboot it again.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. This thing is the encoder, so that's got a SIM card in, so
Right.
that talks to whatever the transmitter is.
Yeah.
So we're great.
Right.
We are great. So well, good afternoon. Something a bit different this week. I've got the expert of Onchan, the guru of Onchan, the Onchan legend himself, Mr. David Quirk.
Yes. But I'm president of the club and have been for a number of years now because nobody wants to challenge me.
I don't see how they could. How they could.
Well, one day I'm going to have to sit back and relax, and some of these youngsters we've got now are going to have to realise they're going to have to take over. And that's I think the worry in Manx football, to tell you the truth, that is we have a younger generation. When they get to university, some of them come back, play football, but then some of them disappear.
I think there's a lot to do on a Saturday afternoon, isn't there?
Well, yeah. I should be correct, really. There's a lot to do, but sport is a major thing on the island, whether that's yourself in football, hockey, cricket in the summer, and all the other basketball, netball. They're all major things, and I do believe, I'm going to be probably a bit political, I hope you don't mind, is to say that's where government should step in and say, give us a helping hand. And the English FA, God bless them, helped us in our new creation at Blackberry Lane. We're actually sitting on a lease for 21 years with the hindsight of government. It's in a green area. It's never going to be built on. And we've got, we were at the area plan with it, which I put a case in to have it cemented for the future. So it's never going to be built on.
Well, I'm 100% with you. And I think back to those days when we had all those new MHKs introduced. It's 2 years ago, the Bright Future.
Promises.
And I've just got this question. Mr. Cannon, what happened to your year of sport? Where is it?
Well, you look at it yourself years ago, and you always look at the past for ideas and rekindle stuff. When we had the Steam Packet Festival, we had all sorts of things happening at the Bowl. I mean, God bless, I'll say anyway, Tony Brown, who was Chief Minister at the time. Yep. He came to the 6 new members. That was me, Tim Crookall, Graham Crageen, June Watterson, who I don't believe has done any sport, and Bill Malarkey at the time, and Jeff Corkish, who's probably never played football in his life. I hope he's not listening. But anyway, and Tony said to me, the corporation were being a bit stubborn regarding the Bowl. And he said, how do you fancy trying to support the government in having it created as a national stadium? I said, tell us what you want. And I remember the time, and it'll be in Hansard somewhere. I remember when we went for, I don't think we went for compulsory purchase on that, but it was near enough like that. And we actually did it. And look at the facility we've got now for the kids for the future and my grandkids. It's great.
It truly is, and it needs developing, it needs growing, it needs maintaining. The leaky roof, I hear that's on the agenda for Julie Edge, isn't it?
On Monday.
On Monday Manning Line. So if you're not quite sure who we have got alongside, David Quirk, local commissioner and former MHK, has got an excellent insight into how things work. But if you really want to listen to what Dave is about, tune into Manx Radio on, well, any day. Midday, you've got the Man in Line. It's the show that we all love. And David is a regular contributor to that. But in addition to that, like, David, you know, you've got yellow and blue in your veins. And imagine the wallpaper in your toilet is yellow and blue. Maybe you've got yellow and blue. No, you wouldn't have a toilet.
Well,
no.
If I could say that, I'll just put it out there too. We've got a leak in the urinals. So the commissioners on Monday will have to try and fix it.
Oh dear! I thought everyone had a leak in a urinal. Ha ha!
But you look at the place you're here now. It's a stadium. I think the seater capacity is 3,500. We've probably got about 25 people here. They're all under the shelter at the minute. So I would encourage people to come out and watch football.
Absolutely. There's a lot of chimney pots down here. A lot of chimney pots. So I think, maybe, we could reach out, because there's quite a lot going on here. You've got the stock cars, demolition derby, haven't you?
No, we had that last week.
But it's a regular thing. So quite often, when I was playing Scratch League up in at King Edward Bay, you can hear them screaming around.
Yeah, and it's excitement for themselves. I remember, and I'm digressing slightly too, I remember the time when Tony was there and Alan Bell, and they were looking at potentially having things at Derby.
Yeah.
And that's where the island's noted for its sport.
I know.
Whether that's football, all this other stuff, or cars, or even, I used to, when I was a young lad, trials bike.
Yeah.
And the people on the island do criticise these people on big motocross bikes. I do have some sympathy there. They shouldn't be doing that on our national lands out there. But it's up to us to try and educate them. And the island's known as a place where you can come here, enjoy yourself. You'd either win or lose. It's like FC Isle of Man. Come along now. You look at the crowd they have down at the Bowl now at the National Stadium. And if I could just kick in a little bit to government, and if Julie's listening or not, is it needs some maintenance on the place. I was there last Thursday watching the Vets match for Onchan against Colby.
Yep.
Onchan won, by the way. just to let you know, and I've had a new knee done, and I'm conscious now of slipping or tripping or falling over. And the paths around there were absolutely soaking and were like ice. And something needs to be done.
It's the same old story. This is you look through the illustrious 24 MHKs, okay? You look at them one by one and you say to yourself, who actually cares about sport?
No.
Who's actually... And the ones that are perhaps sporty maybe aren't quite connected with the community as they should be. And this is grassroots, because this is how important football is, that on a Saturday afternoon we've got a load of young lads who are occupied. They've got something to gravitate to. They've got some fellowship. They've got all positive things happening.
Yeah.
If we didn't have football, we'd be knackered.
Yeah. Well, this morning we were at Bemhaig up at the school there, and on the Astros. And the benefit is having Astros at schools is you have a lot of kids playing. So we must have had an Onchan teams alone. There was about 120 kids playing football, and that's from the age of 5 up to about 12 on Saturday morning. And then we have games on a Sunday through the Junior League.
Yeah.
Massive organisation.
Yeah.
It's like a small businesses.
Yeah.
And you look at clubs who just sometimes maybe just struggling a little bit or falling toward to the wayside. They just want some support from people to say, look, like, we've got something we can offer you or help you with. The only thing we can't at the minute, we've got a great set of Onchan players at the minute at senior level. They just want to play football with them, with Onchan, and they just want to socialise as well.
Absolutely, and we'll go into the team. I'll just run through the team. Maybe you can give a bit of background. It's got the keeper, Callum Dawson.
Awesome
Dawson. Connor Dawson. Is there a connection there?
Yeah, twins.
Twins?
I can tell you a quick story, if you don't mind on that. I remember when one of them got a yellow card, and I don't know if it was a yellow or a red, or something happened anyway. And he went to the referee and he said, "It wasn't me, it was my brother." And of course the referee was that confused, he just cancelled it. Yeah. Sorry about that.
We'll look out for that old trick. But just going through, tell us about some of the players who we need to watch.
Well, as I say, there's quite a lot of young fellas there in the team, and there's quite a lot of senior ones too. Baz is in there. I expect something from Baz today, and some of the big lads that are here. Yeah. On the pitch.
That's Barry English. Yeah.
Barry English.
Look for him, number 8, hot shot number 8.
Yeah, and then the other thing is too, we've got a defence, like we've got June Lease, who's a young fella. He must be about, I'll probably get it wrong, he's probably about 18. But he's grown up with us when he was 14, 15, all the way through. And what I like is some of our players have stayed with us. They haven't been captured from 2 other clubs. And that's the thing, it doesn't annoy me, because we're probably part of it as well. We've kept our players.
It's important though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's important, but it's all down to the fabric of the club and the likes of the fact that Onchan,
facilities. Yeah,
Onchan is not part of Douglas, is it?
No,
that's the trick.
Well, I can tell you for a fact on that, the land we got at Blackberry Lane, we've got permission to have 2 pitches on it, and actually each pitch, you can take the throw-ins in Douglas and end up in Onchan. Where else in the island?
Where else could you do
can you have that? There's nowhere else.
No, that's fantastic. So, just are you okay to commentate, or do you want to go and look at the game?
No.
Are you going to say, or
I'll come back to you now.
You come back to us in a bit. So there we have. That's David Quirk. He's going to take some pictures from the touchline. Big thank you to Mr. Onchan himself, David Quirk, who's come down armed with a camera, with a long lens, and he's going to be taking a few snaps. So, important game for town, as every game is, and you may notice that we've got Greg Radcliffe in goal. Greg, he's had to fill in for Adam Kinvig's sending off. So a message to all the Castletown players, if you're tuning in later, just don't get sent off. Because the thing is, Greg's missing now in the back 4. Okay. Greg is missing in the back 4, and you know what a valuable player he is to the squad, to the team in general, the team performance. One of those things where a red card means jeopardy, not just for the player himself, but for the team. And that could be argued to have been one of the reasons why we didn't get promoted and kind of blew it last year when things were going so well. We could have been in Division 1 by now. Alas, we're not. We're here playing at the Jack Nivison Stadium in glorious Onchan. One of my favourite places. Come to Onchan and admire the geography of the place, the beautiful architecture. We've got a Bailey Scott. Oh, there's a shot on goal, and Radcliffe plucks that out of the air. So, at least big kick as well. But remember, we don't really want to do big kicks, do we? So, looking around, I think we've got Nathan Cardy is on the bench. Thompson there, who was man of the match last week. Under a bit of pressure, Hinkson is forced to just put it to safety. On the back four, we've got Callow taking that centre position that's so important. Callow and Hinks are really a key component to this game. Bit of loose play there. Is Shearer going to be able to? Is Shearer going to be able to react today? Not be under too much pressure, but so far, Onchan appear to be looking a little bit comfortable. It's their pitch. It's their ground. It's not often that you get a football ground that is combined with a stock car derby venue, but this is Onchan. Things are different here. Quite a bit of height on that on the front line there with Onchan. Now let's look at that team sheet again. See who that number 10 is. So number 10, we've got Adam McCulloch. As we know, McCullochs always seem to have footballing calibre in their blood. Watson had a great game last week. A lot of effort in. Paid off with that 6-0 home victory against the local rivals Maloo. Tom Moore. Under pressure from 3 players. Hinks looking to switch the play over to the far side. Just side foots it and the ball goes awry for a Onchan throw-in. So that back four, we got Shearer, Lane, Hinks and Callow. They are going to be put to the test today. There's no question about that. Already this front line attack from Onchan appears to be threatening. Seems to be a bit of physicality there. Conditions are slippery. So some task ahead for the team in red who are on tour. Heading up the A5 into Onchan. Already we've got quite a few people turned out for the game. In this Jack Nivison Onchan Stadium. And pressing forward, and it looks like it's a corner. So the good thing is Radcliffe does look quite comfortable when he's in the, I think it's the purple jersey. Closely fitting. Reminds me of that headline about the Aston Villa strip. Just a bit figure hugging, but there you go. Not quite getting the ball away. So if you've got comments about the game, anything you'd like to know, just please stick them in the box and we'll try and answer any of your queries. So Adam Lane playing on that left back position. I think we've got Nathan Cardy on the bench. I'll just check. Ryan Dean and Paul Kamada, who's come up. I think he gets a senior ticket on the bus. Does Paul? He's of that age. great supporter of the club, and just handy to have as a substitute keeper if needed. So that's 3 on the bench. So Cardi, who's been out of action for some time with an injury, great to see him back. Looking at both sides, I'm guessing that Onchan are good on the training. They're looking quite fit. We had that Malou team last week, and they seem to struggle, but on the attack here and under pressure, and that was a good effort as Tom Moore. Got Danny Lane just struggling a bit. He's just collided with the keeper there. He's made of tough stuff though, is Danny. He's kind of resilient. He'll pick up the odd knock now and again, but he'll be there. Oh no, he's kissing the Onchan turf. So we've got corner from Tom Moore. Goes right over. Oh, rescued by Thompson. Call for it to go and out of play. So you might have noticed that the Onchan team have got the yellow and blue. Now that appears to have been a favoured colour for anyone that's got knowledge of the world of sport this weekend, because it is the team of the European golfers in the Ryder Cup who have been given the Yanks an absolute trouncing, which is an absolute joy to watch. But let's hope, if you're a Castletown fan, that doesn't spill over into the Onchan performance as they are pressing forward again. Not quite sure of what the latest score in the Ryder Cup. Was it like 10-3, something like that? Incredible. Incredible. Thank you for all the shares on Twitter. I think the photograph of Mr. David Quirk has obviously spiked some extra interest in today's game. Great to just have a few words off him at the beginning there, just to get a bit of background about the Onchan club, and a few little tidbits about his views and feelings about how sport should be perhaps managed a little bit better on the island, which is something that we've spoke about on previous broadcasts. So we're undercover here in the grandstand. Good effort there from the Onchan, I think midfield player, just having a go. That's the sort of ball which could catch Greg Radcliffe out. I do worry a little bit. He's those like low shots where he's got to perhaps move a little bit quicker and dive to the corner. I think that could just test him a little bit. So far, I'd say Onchan just seem to have that little bit of extra presence on the pitch. Radcliffe, who can hoof it with that left foot of his, but again, it's just not quite worked out from there. Castletown under pressure. Hinks side footing it, trying to find Gell, who's released up that right hand side. Ball pressing forward to Danny Lane, who's not going to get to the ball before the keeper does. Onchan stringing a few passes together. Callow stepping in, making a tackle. Now we've got great ball there from Rob Tier. First time pass from Shearer. Tom Moore, who's got a little bit of time. Freeing up Lane, who's just blasted the ball forward a little bit too much, with some speculation that Fingal could have reached it. So we know that Dawson is the keeper, and Dawson is, I think, the right or left back. We know that. And Radcliffe is left exposed in a careless goal for the town there. And Onchan have got one in the bag, and it's a goal to the home team. So make your own mind up about that one. Maybe just reflect about red cards and suspensions and just form your own opinion. So Castletown already on the back foot and not too much of the game gone so far. I'd say we're only on about 11 minutes or so. Tia. This will be a testing time for Castletown. Bit of composure required. Bit of leadership. Shearer, who's got a throw on him. Call for a foul throw, actually. The ball just aimlessly fed through to the middle. Castletown still got possession. Danny Lane looking at freeing up Gell and call for a penalty. So the referee striding into position. Made his mind up there. Gell, the master. The master of the pantomime. I've forgotten how many goals Gell has scored for the first team, but let's hope it's one more. And a fine penalty, absolutely giving the keeper zero chance. And Castletown brought back into the game. I will say against the run of play. Not looking too strong. They're looking a little bit, almost looking outnumbered by this team in yellow and blue. They certainly look like a strong outfit. They've been playing at various levels these last few years, but as you know, anyone that's been watching young people play football through the years will know that Onchan have had an excellent youth and junior setup, and this is where it pays off. Now Lane is on the break, and he's that's it. The referee is going to have to ask the question. Referee is asking the question here. We're just going to have a look. That was a yellow card. Didn't quite get who the offending player was, but I'm afraid when you replay that one, Danny Lane was clattered as he was through on goal. I think that was quite a delicate decision from the ref. Really, it could have ended up a red.
Test that keeper.
We've got the expert assistance from Mr. Hinks, who stood not too far from me. Total build, providing total advice to give it a good smack. Now, you may remember that we had Edson in a previous game at this ground who scored a wonder goal. Let's see if we can get another one. Puts the keeper under pressure, and there we go. Gell, and looks like Tom Moore was that Rob Tier? I think Rob Tier was just following that one up. Keeper's not looking too comfortable there, as it was a contested ball. In fact, the keeper, let's see, we know his surname is Dawson. Was it Calvin O'Connor? I can't remember. Let's have a look through this Onchan team. So it's Callum Dawson, Connor Dawson, number 2. Then we'll just run through. It's James McCune, Luke Collister, James Carouche, Sam Cubban, Josh Kenyuk, Barry English, Adam McCulloch, that number 10, who looks quite dangerous so far, Joe Reese and James Lease, and there's Nathan Cardy. On the bench you got Patrick Riley, Leo Fox and Aaron Christian. So just go Castletown bench, Cardy, Nathan Cardy I think we're going to need him. I think we're going to need him later on. So the Onchan keeper is looking a little bit uncomfortable there. Let's hope he's going to recover. So we can just have a bit of a pan round the Onchan Stadium where we've got this fantastic selection of stock cars just over the far side. They're so eye-catching, aren't they? I mean, absolutely glorious. But if you come down on a Monday night, the demolition derby, I think, over the summer. I always remember playing scratch league for the golf at King Edward Bay, and you'd hear the roar of all these wrecks flying around here, which actually used to be a cycle stroke velodrome. Now, forgive me, we have got quite a strong cycling community here, and we had the velodrome, and I think with a bit of care and attention, we could still have a velodrome, but it's one of those marvellous decisions where we choose not to do that. Maybe we'll chat to David Quirk later about his views on that one. Down to the money, he says. 400 grand, I think it was a few years ago. So they say. I don't believe these things. Tom Moore getting in the ball. Having a good game so far. He's covering a lot of ground, integrating with Fingal Watterson. Moore is just pushing up the byline. Oh, here we go. We've got Nathan Cardy's mum has arrived with a purple umbrella. There we go. There you go. Nice to see you, son. Oh, get yourself. You see that? Get yourself in a bit of shelter, mum. We don't want you getting wet, getting a cold or anything like that.
It's a conister.
There we go. It's a conister umbrella. Right. Oh, nearly finding Gell. Rob Tier intercepting, just a bit of time maybe, but it's gone out of play for an Onchan throw. Pressing forward. So Lane looking for options with the throw. Again, Castletown not quite getting it together. Remember last week when we had the passing along the ground? Everything was moving fast. It was intelligent football, pure football. So far today, it's just been a bit of hoof it and hope for the best. Onchan very strong on that left side. Callow trying to find Gell, but it's going to prove a little bit too tough for him, and Onchan on the break again. Looking for offside, but referee not given, and now there's a bit of a breakthrough. Radcliffe is under pressure, and a bit of a heads and tails there with now Radcliffe. He should be rolling it out there to the right back there, but instead we've gone for that big hoof up the ground, and possession is given straight back to Onchan, which time and time again we just want to stop that. It's a complete waste of possession. But Onchan struggling with the goal kick, but it's resulted in a throw. Pressure on from McCulloch. He's just got round Radcliffe now. What's going through his mind here? It's another big kick. Trying to find Lane. Intercepted, and the ball is just bouncing back and forth. No plan, no structure, but free kick for the Reds. Captain Gell, I think, has he got the armband on? Oh, thank you very much. I've got another coffee. It's not. This doesn't happen. Oh, and a Kit Kat as well. Blimey, I'll be munching that at half time. Don't want to get crumbs on my microphone. A bit of wafer fragmented may disrupt my transmission. But thank you so much. That's great, that. Hospitality at Onchan. Lovely. Yeah, we'll be talking with David Quirk later because I want to get the story behind the Onchan paint splash at the roundabout. It's been puzzling me for months, that one. At Corkhill's roundabout. Right, Radcliffe, he's doing his Manuel Neuer. He's bringing it out and he's looking for options. Trying to find Watterson, but, you know, they must have learnt now that it's not a good option. Great interception, and that is a back pass. What's the referee going to... Oh, dear, ref. Oh, dear, ref. That was... that wasn't quite the best decision, so the Onchan contingent are feeling a little bit agitated. A penalty and a decision that's not gone down well, and there's been a bit of a rumble, as David tells me, alongside a rumble in it. So what's the referee? The referee, I don't think he's going to get the card out. I think he's just going to give some words of advice. That decision obviously riled them, which seemed to be a back pass, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. For any Castletown fans, they'll be loving every second of that. So we've got Radcliffe again. We should have some space being made on the flanks, but instead we're going to go for the hopeful almost cross to that far corner where we'll have the likes of Rob Tier waiting for some service, and the ball is headed out for an Onchan throw. You heard it there from Mr. Hinks there. Shouting from the sideline. There's got to be some communication. And it's quite obvious. You look at the way the team is positioning themselves. They all seem to be stuck in one place without creating any space to get that ball moving around the pitch, as we saw last week with those great goals. Crikey. There's a car alarm gone off in the background. I suppose that's normal, isn't it, for a Saturday with the Onchan Massive. There's a bit of a break. So the referee is just with the keeper at the moment, who, I don't know, maybe it's that injury from before. There's obviously in some discomfort there. So the Castletown captain, Gell, is just having a discussion. And Gell is he's a bit of a first aid expert as well. We know that, so he might be a bit more intuitive about what's happening. So there's a bit of movement on the touchline. Yeah, I think if we just see what's going on, are they looking for a reserve keeper? We never like this to happen. Never like this. When you get a substitute keeper on the pitch, they always have the game of their life, don't they? Every time. All right. Oh, right, okay. The captain is the keeper. Karouche is the keeper. And there's been a bit of a change. So it must have been a bit of a bash, bit of a head injury. And the game commences. So we'll just have a bit of a shout out to our friend Edson, who tunes in wherever he is now. Our man from Brazil, and Junior. We do miss you. If you remember, this is the scene of Edson's stunning goal, or one of them, on that run a few years ago where they got to the Cal Cup final. Played Onchan. Got an away win here, but it's one apiece and some good skills there down that left flank. The ball is in, and it's a bit of a miss kick, but Lane has managed to recover it, finding Gell. Looking for Danny Lane. He's going to win that sprint. There's no question about that, and there's a good effort. And the referee is... a goal kick has been given. So it looks like the referee is under a little bit of pressure from some of the Onchan team members. There's a bit of upset, really. Concussion for the keeper. So quite rightly, got to take every precaution possible. Head injuries and all that. Oh, he's got a fair kick on him, this keeper, hasn't he? And I think played him onside, so Castletown recovering. Shearer just getting a little bit confused and setting a shot up here, possibly, but the ball is put out of play. That was the only option from Lane there. So Onchan again pressing forward, and we're reaching, I'd say, the half-hour mark. So it's one apiece. So let's just have a look. Who was that? 14. Leo Fox. Leo Fox. So we've got Josh Kenyuk. So we've got going to be taking the corner kick. Ball headed out. Opportunity just missed. Still providing the pressure. Plenty of yellow shirts forward, but a poor kick. Lane not quite getting the service that he needed. Sloppy play from both sides at the moment. It's absolutely bucketing it down, but we're under the cover of this grandstand. A nice change from being out in the elements. And again, the ball just lands nicely. And Radcliffe under no pressure at all. So he could have perhaps taken that one a little bit further. That was Barry English there, number 8. So he's been identified as a bit of a hot shot. And will perhaps be ruin that chance there. So Radcliffe looking for options. Not quite comfortable with these balls going upfield. I wish they'd just play a shorter ball. Callow nicely played to Gell, almost headed on to Lane. Gell just taking an infringement there. And free kick to Onchan, and there's a bit of handball, but it was played on. So looking around, Tom Moore seems to have been the busier of the midfielders today. Central position. Thompson's been a bit quiet after last week's superb game. And Watterson not quite getting hold of it. He had some time. So that number 10, McCulloch, coming a bit more into play. He's had a bit more freedom. He's strayed over onto this right-hand side. Certainly, Onchan are just pressing forward a little bit more now. Castletown's spirits and energy just seems to dampen down a little bit. Attempt at an overhead kick, and no problem for Radcliffe to collect the ball. So are we going to try plan A again, which is just a kick to try and find Gell, which has done. It was a nicely placed one, and he's got control. And a referee just spots that Lane was offside. Lane will be looking to get his name on the score sheet. He was very generous last week with his play. Shearer. Good header. And no problem for the Reds. So what's Radcliffe thinking here? I'd love it if some of the back four just drop down a bit to collect the ball, but instead we've got another gift to Onchan, and Castletown are under pressure again. But again, the ball is punched away by, I think it's Karouche, isn't it? Who's the sub-keeper. So let's see what options are open here. Fingal Watson pushed in the back there, and the ball goes out for a Castletown throw. Lane trying to find Danny Lane, and Gell is through. Bit of a melee, putting Onchan under pressure. They do seem quite strong, quite physical at the back. Shearer is, nicely done, giving himself a bit of time, looking for options. Tia nearly flicking more through, but it didn't quite come off. But it's much better play from Castletown. There seems to be a little bit more creativity. Intercepted by Tia, and he's finding Gell, and the ball is crossed over, calls for offside, and I think this could be a factor in the game today, that maybe the positioning of the ref isn't quite as quick as what we need it to be, and there could be some, I'd say, maybe some attempts to get in that position where it's arguable which is on and offside. I think that could be an advantage today, but good defensive play from the Lane again, who's been tested a little bit today. Shearer has got a little bit of time. Oh, he's slipped up there. Saved by Radcliffe and cleared by Callow, and Watterson. Gell is going to be looking. Oh, good play by Lane, but look at that. He's got three players around him. Gell under pressure again, and that's a shoulder charge off the ball, and there's a bit of physicality. Street just creeping into the game around the middle. But Castletown are starting to play some football here and passing the ball around along the floor, which they know they can do. Tom Moore there was unlucky to find himself offside. That was good play. A bit more of that, Castletown, please. You know that is the style that we want to watch, and the style that we know delivers the results we need. McCulloch there just crunching into Lane. Bit of a unit there, I think McCulloch. We'll keep an eye on him. So fitness is going to be a key factor in this game. There's no question about that. We've got a heavy pitch. The rain is absolutely bucketing it down. Great to see we've got our management staff in their new coats. You might have seen, well, just focusing on the new. There we go. We've got Sam and we've got Gary. Looking very stylish and with it. Don't know where they've come from, these coats, but there's Gary. Not quite sure, really, how suitable they are. I'm kind of if he had a witch's hat on, it could. Yeah, that is it. I think if you put a witch's hat on Gary and Sam, it could be like a scene from The Wizard of Oz. That's my view, anyway. So we must be thinking about half-time soon. Good play from Tom Moore. He's had a great game so far today. 4 players around him. He's obviously been recognised as a threat in the attacking positions. Oh, it is a clear offside. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But referees, I think he's under a bit of pressure today to keep up with the game. But the ball rolls to Radcliffe casually and comfortably, as he can look for another option, which will be a blast down the middle of the park and a bit of hope that Gell or Fingal is going to pick it up somewhere. There we go. Oh, gosh. On compressing ahead, Callow.
Come on, Joe, get in there!
So, Watson trying to find Gell. Bit of vision there. So I'm gonna have a look at. I think this number 6, Sam Cubban. Sam Cubban, he seems to be playing quite well. He seems to be holding it together in the middle of the park there for Onchan. Certainly having a good game. Feeding the ball out. Corner to the town. Tom Moore, as we know, skilled at delivery. Not quite there, but he's got the ball back. He's got another bite at the cherry, but just kind of miscues it, and it's a goal kick. On compressing forward. Castletown defence just seemed to be holding up well. Keeper forced to kick it away. Pressure kept on by Castletown now. I think Gary Sansbury will be moderately happy with the performance so far. Good interception there from Callow. Thompson there. Just scythed there by Cubban. Good play. Shearer trying to put the tackle in, and the ball goes out of play. Quick throw from Onchan. Good 1-2, and Tia reading the game and allowing for a corner. Sounds like the broadcast is going well. There's a good signal up here in Onchan. With I think Onchan is on like 2G network. Is it up here? Is it 2G network? Love Onchan. And Hinks getting the ball away, but it's come back, and yeah, the referee. He's recognised the offside rule, and the Castletown team are going to do a lap of honour. Third or fourth one that's slipped by, really. Radcliffe poised, thought about the short ball, but no, that's too sensible. Shearer could easily drop back for that. He's got the skill as well to carry the ball upfield, and ball under a mind of its own, I think, here. Lane just got a nudge in the back there. Danny Lane just losing possession. Good play from Onchan here. McCulloch there. Call from offside now. Trying to influence the referee, really. I'm not quite sure. I think he was in a good position there. Lane recovering the ball. Looks like there's a girder in the way, but there we go. Evenly matched. So I hope you're enjoying the match that we got today. I must give a thank you to our sponsors. Let's find them. There we go. Hartford Homes, looking after Castletown. Let's get them on the screen. So far, so good with the broadcast. If there's any issues with the sound or picture, please, give us a comment. So far, so good. Oh, here we go. Got some more visitors. We've got someone wearing shorts. Just shows the benign conditions we've got up here. Some more putting it out. I think we really want the this half to end. I think Gary needs to get them in and give them a bit of a talking to. Maybe look at some options. Look at Tia there, looking super strong. Gell is sprinting forward. He's got to the ball. Captain Gell trying to find Watterson. Oh, the keeper just keeps the ball to a bit of safety. Watterson didn't realise he had a bit of time there, but Lane has captured it again. Tom Moore. Oh, Lane has nearly got through. Tom Moore again, who's having an absolutely wonderful game. And the referee is picking up on an infringement there.
That's the keeper!
There we go. So maybe it's just one more opportunity before half-time. All goals would be gratefully received. It's not often that we get to play at a stadium. I think we've only got we've got Balaclone, haven't we? We've got Castletown. We've got the NSC. We've got Onchan. And we've got Gell and Tom Moore deciding who's going to try and pick out Thompson maybe. Keeper under pressure and safe hands. Keeper rolls out. Left back just pushing forward. Nobody's offside. Callow putting it to safety. And the rain is falling. The pitch is getting wetter and slippier.
Stop talking about it,
Lane on the left flank there, putting in a good effort today. Tom Moore, he's had a good game so far. Thompson fulfilling his duty. He's been a little bit quiet though after last week's amazing game. Nice skill from Moore, but he's foot up there. But Lane has come through and he's got possession and he's under a lot of pressure every time on this flank here. There's four Onchan players just swooping in on anything that's being brought forward by the Reds. Good play again from Lane. Tom Moore just trying to find Watson, but height isn't actually working out for him against that right back there. So another free kick to Castletown. Gell again. Fantastic how he just seems to fall into this captain's role beautifully. Key component of the team. At the heart of everything that happens, he won the penalty that drew Castletown level on this game, which is 1-1, just approaching half-time. So maybe it's the last opportunity before the break. Ball floated in and keeper just put under a bit of pressure there. But so far the sub-keeper has done well, and like any out player they appreciate that maybe the ball is better rolled out. Shearer in a forward position, just trying to find Watterson, who's just going to collect the ball. Tom Moore very quickly under pressure, and the ball rebounds towards the goal, and the ref blows for something. Not quite sure. I think we've got Daniel Lane on the floor again. Time to have a brew. Courtesy of the hospitality here at Onchan. That is 2 cups of coffee we've had so far. Much appreciated. Time to wet the whistle. So just a bit of a thank you to the sponsors who look after Castletown. Don't forget, we've got Castle Cabs. That's Scott and his team of drivers. If you're booking a night out, give them a ring. Get your Christmas transport booked early, because it won't be long before it's upon us. There's key dates, isn't it? I think it's the 8th and the 15th of September. I think they're the consecutive Fridays where everyone's looking for a ride home. Great head-on by Moore. Oh, dear me, that was a little bit OTT. So the bit of physicality. Fingal isn't the most statuesque of players. Very slick, very quick, but can be a little bit delicate when he's up against 10 stone of 10 stone, more like 14 stone. A flying defender. Not quite sure what that was, but it was nicely timed. Put the keeper under a bit of pressure. And the ball is out of play into the, I don't know, what do you call it? Scrapyard? Is it? I don't know. A demolition derby, dismal disaster? I don't know. Not quite visually stimulating in this arena, but there we go. It's part and parcel of the furniture. So Lane again, look at him. He's got 2-3 players around him and manages to capture a free kick. And again, Castletown have had a good run here in the last few minutes. Possession, they're looking a little bit more with it than when they started. McCulloch looking to pick the ball up on the break there, but not to be. Referee is going to be looking at his watch soon, I'm sure, and thinking about making his way off the pitch with the teams, and there'll be some interesting feedback, I think, from Gary and Sam. I think play has improved. I'm liking Ollie Shearer on that right flank, what he does when he's got the ball. He's growing in confidence game after game. Rob Tier too. I think they just need to give themselves a bit more space. Not quite getting there. There's a break on. Callow is feeding Radcliffe, who's put the ball up the middle there. And Shearer finding more to Tia. Danny Lane has got a chance here, and the ball, that was an excellent opportunity really there. Fingal could have picked up, but that's half time. The score is 1-1. Penalty to Castletown, and no idea who scored the Onchan goal, but we'll just see the players come in. And just time to check how the transmission feed is. Players looking a little bit bedraggled? I was going to say bedazzled. No. Rob Tier there. Had a bit of a haircut. Streamlined. Same as Tom Moore. Did they go to Dolan's Barbers? I don't know. I'm not quite sure whether that's the case. But there we go. Referee, you've had a good game. Bit of a few talking points there. But it's one apiece, honours even, and I think really when you look at the field of play and you look at what's happened, I'd say that is a fair score for half time. So just bear with us. I'm just going to have a nibble on the Kit Kat and just check that we're all performing for you.
Go in the cellar, make sure you grab the handrail. You're not going in the cellar. No, I'm new here. Oh, well, I've got a new knee out.
Got time for a chat, David? If you want to?
Yeah.
Let's get David back. We can have a bit of a game. So there we go. Well, good news. I've got David back. If you've been filling your memory card with more memories from this game so far, what's the view? What do you think?
No, it's quite a well-matched game between us all, between Castletown and Onchan there. The saddest thing, seeing Dorsey come off with the keeper. Nobody ever wants to see a keeper come off. There. But like you say, it's great that the ref went over there, assessed them out, and I think he probably said to him, look, mate, you need to come off and take a rest. And I know he's gone out the stadium because I've seen his mother picking him up, as mothers do, no matter how old you are. And
off
probably
to
A&E.
Absolutely, it's imperative. I think we all read the news and see the news, and we know what precautions we've got to take. So let's jump straight back into Onchan. I talked about the Onchan paint splash outside Corcoran's garage.
Well,
it's nearly gone.
To this day, we don't know. Well, there are rumours who did it. Obviously, a painter and decorator, I can give you that. But I don't know. There are speculations out there, but there are lovely painter and decorators. There's an odd few, but you know yourself, if you see something falling off the back of a truck, and you see the mess you've created, you just probably went through the lights. And
I can't understand why it's not cleaned up. I cannot. You see, you've got that, and then you've got the Box Junction turning into Church Road. That's disappeared.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, it's more political. And don't forget, if your readers are listening, all your listeners are coming in there too.
Yes.
It's my own personal
David
statements.
Quirk, not as a political person,
No,
his own views.
I do get rubbed up the wrong way sometimes, but I always believe, politically wise, if you feel strongly about something, it's no good. I'm not a keyboard warrior.
No.
And I hate the keyboard warriors who are faceless individuals.
They're hiding.
Yeah. And then they can say as much as they want, and sometimes being cruel, like one last week, I won't mention him, but actually put something up to do, and he called all the pensioners virtually numpties in Onchan.
Yeah.
And I know who's the individual.
Yep.
I don't like the individual. He doesn't like me, so we've sparred over a few years. But politically wise, I say on the DOI, I feel, and you were saying earlier there, a politician not supporting his club. Tim Krugel does support his club.
Yeah.
I know he's been here when we were in the first league last year, first division on that. And I even charged him for a cup of tea. He
of the few.
He never got it
He's
free.
one of the few. I just think that sometimes anyone who's got time to be a politician, sometimes it's kind of the wrong people who end up in the right in those places. But that's life, and really we've got to get on with it. But I do think the likes of, say, the Man in Line is fantastic because it gives you a voice, and the likes of, say, you mentioned the keyboard warriors, the anonymous cowards.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Anonymous is cowardly because no one would front you.
No.
Would they?
Well, none of them. And I've seen it in the past where you say to people like, if you've got strong views, stand.
Absolutely.
Stand for local authority itself, which is always a good training area.
Yep.
That's where I come up in donkeys years ago and got the opportunity in 2006 to get into Parliament. You can't always do what you want to do, and you have to have friends to support you, and you've got to have a cause that's justified and can be resourced. The worry I have now with the current Treasury Minister under the Council Minister using their reserves, or our reserves, there are reserves that we've created. It worries me a little bit when I believe maybe continuing next year we're going to be using a bit more money, and we've got to balance the book. That's one thing good in law that our forefathers said in Parliament was, you've got to balance the books. You can't, like the English government and some other governments do, print money. We don't print money.
It is a bit of a worry, isn't it? It is a worry because there's going to have to be some serious cuts. And I think next year's budget, because it's almost like they should have known about this for years. Yeah. But I think next year is going to see some major cuts. Yeah. It could be in transport, could be in all factors.
And the problem we've got is now, and your channel's probably going to be too political today with me, but when I see that they changed the issue regarding the remuneration of MHKs, you don't have to do a job anymore.
Oh, I know.
mean, when I was with Tony Brown or Alan Bell, he knocked on your door and said, look, I want you to try and do this for me. I want you to try to have a look at this, see what you think, toss it around, and try and fluff some stuff out. Hard decisions in my time were school meal services.
Yep.
There were the milk that kids used to get, and benefits, And we have to look, because whether we like it or not, we're an older population. And it's great, those. I mean, I'm the chairman of a pensioners club, right? We've got members who are 92 and 95. still come to the club
Fantastic.
and enjoy it.
Well, every citizen has got equal rights, and the
Yeah.
likes of, say, you mentioned about school dinners.
Yeah.
The amount of free school meals that are being supplied
Right.
is massive,
Yeah.
isn't it? And this is it. We kind of look the other way on the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
That, oh yes, everything's so wonderful. We've got full employment. We've got this vibrant economy. We've got an economy where people can't afford housing and people can't afford to feed the kids at school.
Yeah, the saddest thing I had was a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned on the Melon Line, when there was a guy who's of foreign persuasion sat next to me with his
I remember.
youngest kid.
Yeah, I remember.
And I said to him, "Is he playing football?" And he wanted to talk to me, and I said to him, and I didn't know him from Adam. And I said to him, "What worries you about the Isle of Man? You come from somewhere else." He said, "Do you know what? We struggle to get a bank account.
Yep.
We struggle to get all the paperwork done and submitted back from where the banks are off island." Now, I believe Treasury should be, assessing that anomaly and straightening it out.
Well,
And the same thing, because we're not in the UK. I've run up against this with the English FA. That's Baz's son.
we've got him. He's on screen. Baz's son.
Yeah.
Well, remember the time when Barclaycard said they were going to pull
Oh,
their Isle of
yeah.
Man? Now, I think that was going to happen. That was genuine.
Yeah.
And there must have been the hotline straight to Mr. Barclay.
Yeah. We
saying,
used to, in the older days, the Treasury officials, the Treasury Minister, which was Alan Bell at one time,
Yep.
used to knock on the bank's door, have them in for a chat. And it's the same thing you should be doing with the builders. We haven't got many builders left now, major builders I would call, and all this brownfield development is going to take place. And this housing board, which I have a desperate concern
Yes.
about, is what they're
Oh, gosh.
going to do.
Yeah.
And,
Arm's length.
Yeah, but anyway. But the other thing I must say to you too, you got your Kit Kat from Ocean Views in Onchan.
I'm overjoyed. I've got my Kit Kat there. It's going to be munched on later, but I thank you so much for that. But yeah, the housing is a big thing because I had some tourists today. Did a bit of a tour around the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
And we came down to the prison site, and I was explaining about the prison and all that, and you think it's a glorious place. It could just be some first-time buyers' housing.
Yeah.
It would be ideal. So let's get on with it. We're back on the football.
Back to the football.
What will give us an overview? What will be the narrative in the changing room for this Onchan team?
I think the manager's probably been in there, as all managers do, and I never go into the changing rooms because I can't stand sometimes the language they use to each other regarding it. And it's all done in good banter. He'll be saying to him, "Look, we've got a keeper there now who's not a real keeper.
Yeah.
He's the captain of the team. He's volunteered in. So we're going to be down his strengths that we had in the centre of the field there. So we need to protect them and shout all the time. Let the keeper know what you're going to do."
So you've seen thousands of games, hundreds of games. Say, what's your forecast? What's going to happen?
I hope for a draw, to tell you the truth, because both teams have played well. Before I forget to, I must say hello to Jimmy. It's in Castletown Club. He usually comes to the matches. I know his wife's not well down there. And every time, because I know him and Hilda, I've said to them any time they come to the stadium, they're the only ones that get a free tea and coffee.
Well, I'm very, very grateful for that. That's absolutely lovely. Look, David, you're an absolute, stalwart Onchanite, as we can say that.
Yeah.
And we're really grateful. And maybe keep yourself handy. We might have a chat after the game. But thank you so much.
Lovely.
Well, there you have it. That's David Quirk, waxing lyrical.
Get Ethan on!
Waxing lyrical about all things Onchan, government, past and present, a fountain of knowledge, and part of the Onchan, I don't know, the Onchan DNA. So there you had it, the paint splash at Corkill's garage. It's not quite as what could I say, profound as it was. It seems to be wearing out. Watterson, in a bit of space, looking for options. Danny Lane, he just took it a little bit too far. Opportunity and a great save there, and it's out for a Castletown corner. So Good play from the town. They've obviously had a bit of a talking to from Gary and Sam at half time.
Stay in the back, Harry.
So let's see what happens. We've got Tom Moore. He's going to be looking at just placing this. I don't know who I'd be looking for Thompson. No, the ball is curled in and over the bar and wasted. So we don't really want any more of that. So it's the game of the substitute keepers. Well, I do believe that we've got some international viewers from across the Atlantic Ocean viewing from probably very much sunnier climes. So we say hello. That's excellent. Nearly finding Watson. Almost. So I think perhaps Gary's exposed a leak on that left flank that unleashed the Watterson. Lane. Much better view from this side for the Castletown attack. Not quite understanding the geometry of why that is. Oh, McCulloch now on the way. Push. Oh, forcing him. Oh, great tackle. My word. Absolutely tremendous defensive play from Callow there. Just saving the day. I think McCulloch there, the forceful number 10, had a little bit too much time on his hands. Certainly featured in the Onchan attack. Corner. High ball, headed away. Oh, not quite getting to it, and that was a miss. That was a miss. So Castletown let off the hook there. It was an open goal. Won't be enjoying that replay. So Radcliffe having to travel a bit further than usual to get his to get the ball. It's gone across the velodrome, across the racetrack. But let's face it, it's hardly Days of Thunder around here, is it? So I do find Onchan an enigma. Here we go. Lane looking for opportunities. Great play from Lane. He's really put the turbo boost on, and I'm wondering if there's going to be a substitution made soon. Or maybe there has been. Let's have a look. Bit of excitement towards the referee, and I might have missed that. Is a young fella on? I thought so, yeah. So Cardi is on. I kind of didn't pick up on that we have got Nathan Cardi just there, up on that left-hand side, flanking Danny Lane and Gell. Certainly that back line of Onchan do seem to be fairly organised. Going going to be tough to crack them. McCulloch is chasing a hopeful ball, which goes to Radcliffe, who is going to be trying to pick out. No, he's going to go for the big kick. Some power in that kick, and it has almost got to Lane, and the referee is just calling for a push, which was, I think, on the scale of football offences, that was minor. So it's going to give an opportunity here for a shot. I quite fancy Gell to. Let's see if we can put this. Oh no, right. So let's see if we can put this keeper under some pressure. Big run up on the captain there. Surveying the scene, looking for his options. Yeah, and that's what he did. He went to put the keeper under pressure. Watson is fighting for the ball, but he's dispossessed. Gell taking possession. Side footing, releasing Lane, who.
Come on, ref!
Yeah, the ref. He just seems like he's in a different time zone at the moment. Not being critical, just difficult to keep up with this game because it's almost like when there's a bit of a melee going on, there's an infringement and shouting from all angles. It's not easy being a ref. So yeah, it's raining even harder. So I can't imagine what it's like uptown Onchan. I'm not quite sure. You've got so many options. You can. Oh, the ball is floating in, and keeper. Some rather industrial language filtering through onto the camera. We're on the microphone, so. Now then, opportunity for Castletown. Not taken as Shearer just put his opponent under pressure. The ball is in the scrapyard. That's right. Demolition. It's not the derby though. The demolition derby. So the ball's out of play. So I came up through Port Jack. I quite enjoy those. That you've got a little sandwich shop there, and you've got the spa. Go and get a beauty treatment at Purity. Oh, another card issued. Referee has been quite busy. Not quite yet got croupier status out at the Palace Casino. I was down there this morning just dropping someone off at the Palace Casino, looking absolutely incredible as a tourism destination. Stunning. Pure 4-star luxury. Gell, is he going to try? Oh, tried the same again, but didn't quite make it through, but he's feeding it through to Danny Lane, and it's got. That was a save, and that's. I thought that would have been a corner. Short ball. Onchan looking like they're attempting to play it up from the back. Never easy. Great ball out to the right flank. That's good play, that. Good interception from Callow. Lane is finding Nathan Cardy, who's dispossessed. foot in there from Lane.
Too slow.
Watson is dispossessed. Doesn't stop running though, Watson. Call for offside, and McCulloch is found guilty. Radcliffe eager to get the game going again. Castletown pushing forward. Tom Moore, Fingal Watson, given an attacking front row 5 strong. Radcliffe slicing it, and we're left absolutely missing in midfield. Tom Moore finding Lane. Lane pressing forward, cuts on the inside. Ball intercepted. Gell reaching possession first. Opportunities galore here, and opportunity again. Floats the ball over, and it's collected comfortably by the keeper. So, as predicted, the keeper's having a good game. There's Hinks pressing forward. Shearer lamping it, putting the keeper under no pressure at all. He's nearly spun it out into the goal, and it's just slipped by for a fortuitous corner there. So for the first time, the keeper, I think we talked him up, and then that was a kiss of death. He's just under a bit of pressure there, so that's the captain. Short corner to Cardi. Tom Moore. The ball manages to get over. Callow, the ball's pinging around, and opportunities presenting themselves for the attacking players, but not materialising. Referee getting asked to intervene. Okay. Is that another card? That's another card issued. So they like the colour yellow in Onchan. There's no question about that. So one apiece. Still a tight game. Castletown just edging possession, I think, in this second half. Live from the Jack Nivison Stadium. So opportunity here. So Danny Lane, he'll be fancying this. Surveying the scene, picking his target. I think he'll have a shot on goal. Straight into the hands of the keeper. So the master tactician, Gell, reading the game constantly. He's got the brain of like the Terminator, hasn't he? Assimilating everything, every move. Just going to check the transmission, see how we're doing on the sound. Quite often it can misbehave after about an hour, but who knows, the location here with Onchan's 2G technology. Shearer is almost outpaced. He's got to be careful they don't concede a penalty. Hinks is finding Gell. Right, we're going to start the transmission again. Hopefully there won't be any goals because the old sound